Sister podcast. Today we are in episode 2 out of 2 in our Hosting 101 series. There are 3 tips that I have curated for today that are going to help you when planning your next gathering. Thank you so much for taking some time during your busy life to spend it here with me. Maybe you're doing laundry, maybe you're taking the kids to school. I don't know. Hello from wherever you're listening. There's one thing that you should all know about me before we dive in. I really love hosting. The Lord has really pressed on my heart the importance of hosting, and give me a holiday, an event, an activity, and I will run with enthusiasm to see a successful gathering take place. In this episode, part 2 of the mini-series, I will be sharing those 3 helpful tips with you that I have learned that have made hosting not only an easy task for me, but something I welcome and desire to do, and basically something that has made it my nature rather than something out of the ordinary or a special occasion. Tip number 1 is so important because it's kiss. You're probably like, why is she telling me to kiss someone? No, keep it simple, sweetie. Keep it simple, sweetie. I so often have the desire to go big or go home. I mean, we all do. It's in the blood of our culture currently. Everything has to be one-upped. Everything has to set you apart. Everything has to be bigger and better. But what if I already told you that you're already set apart, that you're chosen by the Most High God? And with that in the back of our minds and in the forefront of our hearts, that reality of being chosen and already set apart, guys, that makes keeping it simple so much easier. The reality is we can't always go big all the time. It's actually one of the first roads to burnout, my friend. But from a personal capacity to financial obligation, I have learned that all successful events thrive when simplicity is the goal. The details are far more appreciated. It goes a lot farther, I promise. Simplicity allows us to focus on the details and the key components that make the biggest difference when hosting. For example, maybe you're hosting a birthday celebration. Ask yourself, what are the non-negotiables and must-haves for this type of gathering? Make a list, write it down with things like dessert or cake. Maybe you want some balloons and a fun activity for your guests to enjoy. Now do this for every single event. This definitely, like, keeping it simple, goes back to last week's episode where we talked about how hosting can be as simple as inviting people over for a game night or inviting people over to roast for s'mores or whatever that looks like for you. Just keeping it simple really relieves a lot of the headache, stress, and pressure that comes, or we allow to come, when wanting to host or gather people. And I don't know about you, but I constantly feel like when hosting people that it has to be picture worthy or Instagram worthy. But let me tell you, Instagram, social media, that's not our first priority. Our first priority when hosting is to gather our loved ones, to gather our community and love them hard through that service of having them in your home and inviting them in. That speaks louder in volumes than what your space, your food looks like. Tip number 2, utilize what you already have. I can guarantee you have what you need. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in using what you have. A lot of times we feel like we have to buy brand new or buy things for the specific season or holiday or celebration. In fact, I've had so much joy in developing my hosting collection with pieces that are timeless, pieces that I can see through for a long time. Finding neutral servingware that can be used over and over and over again during any season is the best investment I have made, and my husband appreciates it very much. when you invest in these pieces, or you don't even have to invest, maybe they're like the cellophane Dollar Tree white platters. Trust me, those work wonders and are great for burgers off the grill. But those serving platters work so amazingly well, and you can get so much use out of them to reuse them. And not only is that a fun thing to have when you know, hey, I have that on hand and I don't have to spend money on it. Guys, that is so much better for the environment. And I'm not the number one advocate to say throw away your straws and do all this stuff, because I'm a messy person and I develop trash and it just happens. But in that small regard of having servingware and things that I can reuse over and over again, I'm very proud of myself for that. And you should be too. And maybe like you don't have that stuff ready on hand, but I can tell you that the Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, Dollar General, the Target Dollar Spot always has cute hosting ware that you can use that's not seasoned. Now, please hear me when I say that. I love a good festive moment. Trust me. I love the holidays. But when it comes to the bare bones of like your cake tray and your where you're going to put your main course, charcuterie boards, things like that, things that can be used over and over again, don't buy those with festive things. Like, don't buy festive serving platters. People will gift you servingware that is seasonal. My mother-in-law loves to give us that kind of stuff, and I cherish it because I don't have to purchase it. Like, I was gifted a lemon serving platter. It's elongated, it's beautiful, and it's perfect for summer. But I didn't have to purchase that. I didn't have to go out of my way. It was gifted to me. And voice that those are things that you would appreciate receiving. Because sometimes us as women, there's this weird balance of like buying stuff for ourselves and buying stuff for our home. And I've learned that it's one and the same. A lot of times we can get really upset if someone were to purchase us a cleaning item or something that helps us maintain our home. And it can seem really annoying. And I've had those moments where I'm just like, I did not want a cleaning item. Like, that's like, why did my husband not get one, but I got one? And it can seem very, it can just seem kind of triggering for some of us. But let me tell you, receiving hostingware or stuff that allows us to bring people in, or games or anything like that, is a great gift idea. That's a bonus to this tip, but it allows you to build up that, what I like to call an event stock. Saving decorations from gatherings that you've held is really important. A lot of times our first instinct can be like, let's just get it out of the house, let's throw it away, but save those things. I had a friend who asked me to throw her a bridal shower. I threw her a bridal shower and I kept as much as I could, because I'm like, if I ever throw a bridal shower again or anything in that realm of like wedding-esque stuff, I have that on hand and I don't have to just run out and purchase it. It's not something that I would keep around for longer than 5 years if you have never used it. But I'm in a season of life where friends are getting married, friends are having babies, and those things come up. So it's really helpful to save those themed things. Decor items like letter boards, greenery, artificial flowers, things that you can use as home decor plus for events is always helpful. Even buying balloons in bulk, having your own inventory of these items is so essential. And the reason being, buying balloons in bulk, we all know we love a good balloon arch. We all know that those are things that we're going to want to do. So buying the supplies in bulk off of Amazon is a lot better than buying color specific ones. Just buy multiple different color options, multiple different things, and you save a penny doing this, but you also save yourself a lot of headache from rush ordering things on Amazon. Trust me, it's a lot more helpful to have it on hand. I could throw baby showers, bridal showers, birthday celebrations, and more out of the inventory that I have created and curated and continue to do so. Thrift stores are an amazing place to find beautiful glassware that people, maybe didn't sell at an estate sale or what have you. You could get a china set from the thrift store. Just keep your eyes open and be willing to look outside of just Walmart or Target or a big box store. Please, ask your mom or ask your family members if they have any glassware that they're wanting to get rid of or part with, just taking up space in their cabinets. This is another great way to build up your stock without having to spend so much money that we tend to do anyways. So just keep it simple, okay? Like I said, keep it simple. Using what you have allows you extra wiggle room to splurge on maybe some decor pieces that you don't have, that you've been eyeing for a while, or maybe some that are more themed that you don't have. Like for me, I don't have much 4th of July stuff. So I've been DIYing a lot of I've been DIYing a lot of that 4th of July stuff, just using colors in the food that you have rather than in chintzy things. Using flags are really helpful because you can use that year round. And that also allows you to have more wiggle room to your budget for food as well. Maybe you don't have the time or really want to make your food. You could have it catered. You could make a charcuterie board. Those can get expensive. Things like that is another really good reason why using what you have, utilizing what you have is my number. I should have put it for number 1 because I feel like I'm rambling about it. But seriously, guys, this is such a big tip. And if I could go back to myself when I first got married, I would have added more hosting things in my registry. Tip number 3. Okay, let's move on. This one's really fun too. Give yourself permission to delegate. I touched on this in last week's episode, but in today's episode, I want to shed some light on the other side of this topic. A lot of times we don't ask others for help because we're afraid of what it can look like, or even worse, assume that no one wants to help us. I fall into that category. I tend to want to do it all because people don't want to lend a lending hand, and I tend to believe that they don't want to help. But if you're wanting to host a larger gathering and it's beginning to look like a lot more work than you originally anticipated, give yourself permission to outsource. Maybe you don't have time to spend the day prepping food. You could ask someone who loves to cook, and if they're willing to help you out, or you could pay a catered meal or get a catered meal from a restaurant. There is no shame in outsourcing that kind of stuff. In fact, bonus points if the catered meal is themed to a festivity. For instance, maybe it's Super Bowl and you're hosting people and you're just like, I did not have time to make anything and I'm having people coming over and people are bringing sides, but we need the main dish. Cater those wings, girlfriend. Go to Buffalo Wild Wings, go to your closest wing joint, your favorite local spot, and cater those suckers out, because I can tell you the amount of time that you would spend stressing over that meal, you could spend enjoying time with friends and family if you just have it catered. Or maybe it's Cinco de Mayo and you want a fiesta-filled evening. Get those tacos catered. You don't have to make them yourself. Have a taco bar. So many local places offer those things. You can literally have a taco bar catered. I know Chipotle you could cater, but I really do like supporting local when possible if they have that option. Are you low on decoration supplies but know someone who has those items on hand? Hello, I do. I don't have everything that I would want. Obviously, my hosting stash is still small. We've only been married for almost 4 years, so I'm still gaining those items. But it's okay to reach out and ask someone if you can borrow those things. We have this really nice lady in our community who loves to host and loves to keep that kind of stuff on hand. She even has a full closet of just hosting stuff. That is my dream. But let those people let those people help you. Give yourself I can't speak today. I'm so sorry. Give yourself permission to step aside and let others bless you. We can be so eager to want to do it all and be it all the time. And that is a one-way trip to destination burnout. And if you are wanting to host to maintain a joyful experience, like if you don't want hosting to leave a bad taste in your mouth, asking for help is a great way to create that healthy balance and release some of that built up pressure that we've already had to overcome those lies in the first place. I really hope and pray that this little mini series has empowered you to host people, have people over. It can be low key, it can be a huge event, it can be a holiday, it could be a game night. From whatever realm you find yourself, I want you to have full confidence this summer to gather your people together. It can be just a cookout over the fire. It could be a pool day, whatever that looks like. Just get in community this summer. And I really hope that you enjoyed hearing my top 3 tips. I could literally ramble about these for hours, so we're just going to cut it short. But when it comes to hosting, I've learned so much. And if you don't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram at @ToBaileyandBeyond, and Bailey is spelled Baylee, where I'll be sharing some fun ideas for summer gatherings, tips, recipes, hosting things, and head to my website, baileyletters.com, as there's so many more resources there, blog posts, things like that. And thank you guys so much again for listening to today's episode. And until the next one, bye guys.